What is up, everyone? I hope everyone's having a wonderful day. In today's video, we're going to be revealing what we were talking about in our last video. And so previously we discussed where if you ever lose your remote, whether it's to a projector, TV, it becomes a pain because of course you can't use your device like you normally can. And so the reason why we brought up our mobile device in the last video is because what's really nice about the VOPLLS A6 projector, it actually has the ability to have a digital remote. And so if you come into your App Store or Google Play Store and search for TV casting, and like you can see right here, it shows this formerly VOPLLS option. You can click on that. This is the app that you'll need to download. We already have it downloaded. And then when you're connected to the device, it'll display information, but normally it'll show this. It'll show that you need to connect to a device. So one thing to kind of note, this mobile app remote control is a little bit different than others out there. So for example, we have a Amazon Fire Stick as well as an Apple TV. And with those devices, you can power on the device with your phone. However, with the VOPLLS TV casting remote, you have to physically power it on before you can utilize the remote, as it uses the Wi-Fi and other connections to allow you to connect to it. So what we'll do is we're going to turn on the projector, get that powered on. We'll let it do its autofocus and everything. And then, like you can see here on the screen on my mobile device, let's see. Sorry, it changed to kind of a bluish tint, but as you can see here, I'll have connecting devices, and it'll pull up our VOPLLS TV. So I'll click on that, and it'll show connected up on the screen right here. But then right here you have kind of the full VOPLLS TV app, and so you can connect to an album, video, audio documents. You can connect to your camera. So as an example, if I hit wireless camera, I'll hit allow, it'll instantly connect, and then I can have my full camera on there. And then once I exit out, it'll go back to the OS. And so if you ever have this app, if you want to do your TV casting as well, so if you wanted to screencast on here, I could click the screencast button, and then I could start the broadcast, and it'll share my phone screen in that regard. So as an example, we'll start the broadcast. It does a little countdown, and we'll click out of it, and it shows the same thing that you'll see on my phone. And so I can hit end mirroring, stop broadcast, and of course we'll go back to the home screen. Whereas if you were on the projector itself, you would have to navigate in here. I think you actually have to go over to the TV casting app that's on the projector, and it'll kind of tell you your network information, what your host name is, and then a QR code that you can scan from your mobile device to then be able to do that. So either way, no matter what, you'll have to get the app if you want to do any type of screen share via a mobile device. But again, it's still a nice feature in that regard. But the main thing that we want to talk about is the remote control. So down here at the bottom, there is a remote control button, and there's a few different options that you have. You can kind of mess around in terms of the layout of the remote. So there's those squares at the bottom. So you can either do the select operational remote, so kind of like a normal remote. You have a gesture mode, you have a mouse mode, and then you have an air mouse mode. I did use the gesture mode for a little bit because it reminded me of our Apple TV remote, but I preferred this key mode just because it's a little bit more intuitive to click the button. So I'm just going to click on that. And on here you have the ability to type in, so if you need a numpad, you have the option for a keyboard. You do have the settings, which will open up the settings on the remote. You can just hit the back button. You can of course control the volume up and down. You can mute it. If you have it for TV channels, you can adjust the channels there. little hamburger button, I think, does more things on the, like on a specific app. Then if you swipe over, you can add quick keys and applications. So if we hit like the plus button, I could do sleep mode, play pause. For the apps, I can add any of the apps that are currently downloaded onto the projector. Of course, we have the home button. This one brings up, I guess, some devices. And then, yeah, and then for my apps, again, it's a quick access to those same apps. So if you maybe can't fit them all on the remote, you can go to my apps to select the rest of the apps that you would like. But again, this is super nice. Whenever my kids move the remote and I can't find it, this gives me at least an option where I can use my mobile device to connect to our VOPLLS projector and control it as if I was using the physical remote, but more digitally, and it's customizable, which is an extra plus. So hopefully that kind of helps someone get an idea for the VOPLLS A6 projector, and a really cool feature that unlocks the potential of the VOPLLS A6.